If you're looking for raw hair vendors, look no further. I'm giving you all the information on how you can find your very own raw hair vendors without having to buy a vendors list or do any hard research. It's really simplified these days. So I'm gonna give you all the tea on how you can find the perfect raw hair vendor. Hey guys, my name is Chanel and this is the Becoming Chanel channel where I talk about all things beauty, relationships, and primarily now hair and how to start a hair company, how to find hair vendors, how to market your brand and beauty brand overall. It's not solely for hair, but those are typically the topics that I hone in on these days. And in this video is going to be like the second part of the raw hair series. I am talking about where you can find vendors. I initially in the first video talked about what a raw hair vendor was, and I'll plug that video in somewhere over here so you can watch that. But in this video, I'm talking about where you can find them. So I know by now, 2023, we've all heard about vendors lists and things of that nature. And although, hell, I sell vendors lists, and I think if there's integrity behind it and the people actually test the vendors that they're selling, like I don't have a vendors list of 50 vendors, I don't have a vendors list of 100 vendors. Those make me a little leery because if you're gonna buy a vendors list, you want someone to be able to vouch for the vendors that they're selling you, you know? So I wanna teach you how you can find your own vendors, test them out, all of that good stuff, just in case you don't want to go down the buying vendor list journey or make that your decision. I'm a little dolled up today. I was shooting content. Isn't this cute? My little prop, isn't it cute? And if y'all want, I'll talk about creating content at home. I know we've seen, like, this is a little off topic, but I know we've seen, you know, the big hair campaigns, and a lot of you probably talking yourself out of your business because you think you have to have a big budget and you have to do a big production and you have to do all these things, and that's not necessarily the case. So I was able to, you know, make some really good content, and if you're interested, I'll make another video showing you how you can shoot content at home. And then I'll give you some tips on like how I draft up my own little props and everything. Back on topic. I have about 5 places that you can find raw hair vendors, and they are reputable and they have good quality hair. And in 2023, it's just a hell of a lot easier to find vendors versus when I first started back in like 2009. So my first place where you can find a hair vendor or a raw hair vendor is going to be Alibaba. Now, the craziest thing is I saw one video where a young lady was like, oh, Alibaba is so outdated. Like, oh my gosh. And I was like, I guess I'm in my auntie era because Alibaba still gives. It gives raw hair. It gives reputable vendors. And not only that, now you can go on Alibaba and they can go live and you can actually see the hair that they have. So when I'm testing out vendors or I'm looking for new vendors to test, I start at Alibaba. I'm able to see how long they've been in business. Alibaba itself has a certain threshold and a certain caliber of quality of companies that they allow on that platform. Now, some of them do slip through the cracks. You still have to test them. But for the most part, there's a certain standard there. And then again, I love that they can go live. So a lot of the vendors that I've been testing lately is because I've been able to see them show their factory, show the hair. I've been able to correspond with them and have a dialogue. And I'm able to actually see the hair that they actually have in stock, not some picture that they could have stolen from anybody else. I'm actually able to see in real time the hair that they have in stock on a regular basis, the different hair options and wigs and colors and everything that they have in real time, and then make a decision on if I want to actually purchase from them. So number one for me is gonna be Alibaba. Also with Alibaba, there is like a rating system. Everyone doesn't leave reviews, but you're able to see kind of like a gauge of their, you know, some type of reviews. Sometimes if there's like a lot of negative reviews, you know, to avoid them. If there are some, you know, 5 stars and stuff, then you typically are in good hands. So I really like Alibaba. And a caveat is If you're looking for virgin hair, then AliExpress is a great one. They always have reviews. You can always look at a store or a company's review system to see if people have left positive reviews. And it's a safety net too. Using Alibaba and AliExpress, you can use like PayPal and other payment options. So if you're testing this hair, there's a safety net, versus if you buy directly from them and they want you to Western Union or MoneyGram it or do a bank transfer, there's no safety net. But there's always a safety net if you can use like AliExpress, Alibaba, PayPal, stuff like that. So number 2 is going to be Instagram. Instagram, every vendor, well, not every vendor known to man, but a majority of the vendors are on Instagram. So you're able to actually look on Instagram. You can search Indian hair, you can search Cambodian hair, you can search Indonesian hair, and you can find a plethora of hair companies. There's no shortage of options for raw hair vendors. And then they have pictures and they have videos. Some of them actually go live. I haven't seen it as frequently as on Alibaba, but some of them actually go live on there. And you're able to see what the quality is. Now, again, vendors can, put filters on the hair. They can get, the right angles, whatever. So although you can find raw hair vendors from a plethora of different places, you always want to test the hair. It does not matter if you bought a vendor's list. It does not matter if you found the vendor yourself. You always want to test the hair. But I typically look at these places as my starting point. And at the end of it, I'll also tell you like some of the tips that I go through in order to determine who I'm going to actually spend my money with. So yeah, you can also DM anyone or all of the vendors via Instagram. I've seen, because I watch other videos too, and I've seen some ladies talk about, if there's no comments, I don't, engage, or I know it's a scam. If their comments are turned off, then yeah, I wouldn't purchase from them. But I, in over 15 years of selling hair, have never left a review on the vendor's page. I've never left a comment. I don't follow the hair companies that I actually purchase from. That's just not something you do. People don't want other people to know who their vendors are, especially now because, some people are making a living by exposing people's vendors. So you don't want to have a paper trail. So the average consumer or the average business owner is not going to leave a review or a comment on a hair vendor's page that they want to buy from. That's just not going to happen. So you can't gauge whether you should use them or not based off of that. That's just not even logical. Again, if the comments are turned off, then yeah, that I would just find somebody else. But if you can comment or people are commenting, but you're not seeing a ton of comments or any at all, that doesn't deter me. My third place that I look for vendors is actually WhatsApp, because if you start going down the rabbit hole of looking for your own raw hair vendors, and especially if you start on Alibaba and you're sending out your information, I don't know what type of system they have, but all of a sudden you'll start to get people contacting you via WhatsApp, or vendors contacting you via WhatsApp to let you know about their hair company. So most of the time I don't even have to search for them. They come to me via WhatsApp and they send pictures, and they'll, take a video call with you, and they'll send videos and they'll send their price list. And I do all my correspondence with all of my vendors either on WhatsApp or Alibaba. Those are the two places that I always do my correspondence with. So WhatsApp has been amazing, and it works very well for me. For whatever reason, I don't respond to the vendors that contact me on Instagram. In my mind, it feels a little weird on there, but on WhatsApp, I'll give you a chance. Don't know what that is, but I've had better luck with the companies that contact me via WhatsApp than on Instagram. The fourth place that I go to look for vendors is going to be Facebook. So you have to understand that a lot of the hair companies started on Facebook. Instagram came later. And I'll say Facebook and TikTok. because those are, I feel like on TikTok I can find newer companies or maybe even bigger companies that have realized the power of social media. So they've been around for a while and they know the impact that social media can give. Thus, they decided to go on TikTok and advertise their product and stuff. So I've been able to find some relatively good vendors on TikTok as well. And then back in the day, I would always find vendors on Facebook. So those are kind of neck and neck for me. So TikTok and Facebook. Again, TikTok, some of them go live. Some of the, they post videos. You can see the hair, all of those things. So it's, all the social media platforms, YouTube or TikTok, Instagram, YouTube are pretty much the same. And then my fifth location of where I get, and this isn't going to be some long drawn out video. I'm trying to hit it fast because I have more videos I need to record and more information to give you. But my fifth place is definitely going to be YouTube and Google. So Google owns YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine, and it is a faithful one. So I do a lot of research for a multitude of things here on YouTube. They show videos. They are very responsive in the comments. If you do decide to leave a comment, I don't. And then, at least not recently. In the past, I have. And then Google, you can search, but I feel like Google is just such a big search engine. You're casting such a large net, which isn't anything that it just makes it harder to decide what you should do if you're casting such a large net versus like a YouTube. Not as many vendors are on here, so it's just a little easier to decipher, okay, who should I test and what is each company about and all of those things. And then my tips when you find or what I look for to decide if I actually want to move forward. If I look on all these platforms and I make a list of about 10 vendors, what makes me decide who I'm going to actually purchase from is this. I don't really pay attention to the pictures other than for curly and wavy patterns, just to see how defined the curl pattern or wave pattern is, or to see if the hair looks fake, if the curl pattern looks fake, because most of the hair on the market right now, whether it starts off as raw and they steam it or whatever, most of it is going to be steamed for pattern. So I look to see how they steam it. And because I've been doing this for a long time, I can tell by how the curl patterns look in pictures, how to look once it's washed. And then I can kind of somewhat determine if it'll be worth it to me, because I'm very particular about my curl patterns. I always have been. So that is a deciding factor for me. I also look to see if they have videos. If they don't have videos and constant recent, we're in a content in a digital age. So if they don't constantly have videos of their product that they're pushing out, that makes me a little leery, because it's just you have this page, and if you keep recycling the same videos, do you actually have it in stock? Are you a middleman to the actual vendor? Those are questions I start to wonder. And I don't want to go through a middleman. I want to go directly to the source, because prices change and everything else if you go through somebody else, because they want to make their cut. So another thing that I look for is I decide to talk to them. So most vendors are on WhatsApp. Even if I find them on TikTok, or I find them on YouTube, or I find them on Instagram, I always make my way back to WhatsApp to communicate with them. And I straight out the gate say, hey, my name is Chanel. I own a hair company. I found you on Instagram, and I'm interested in your raw hair bundle prices, as well as your closures, frontals, wigs, whatever you want. And then I let them know I'm looking for a vendor to do long-term business with for my hair company. And so they typically will respond with in 24 to 48 hours. And then they give me their pricing, and I look over that. And then I ask them hey, can you send me videos of your raw wavy and your raw curly, because that's primarily what I sell. And then I also ask, what's going to be your processing time? Do you keep this hair in stock, or does it take you a couple of days to make it? And then they'll tell me, you know, a lot of companies lately would be like, oh, it takes 5 to 7 days to make, or it takes 3 to 5 days to make. There's not as many companies that actually have a lot of hair like in stock at any given time. There are some, but I'm noticing more and more like make it ready to order. Like once you place your order, that's when they produce the product. So I always ask that first, because if they have like a 7-day turnaround time, I probably am not gonna spend my money. I try to find vendors that can get product out in like 3 to 5 days. Just in case anything happens, I can kind of get the hair quickly, and it just puts me at ease. Like I'm not really a business owner that's going to do pre-sale. Like if I don't have it in stock, I don't want to sell it, because if I have it in stock, I wash it, then I know what to do with it, or I know what the pattern's going to be. I know how it's going to react, versus, you know, me rushing to get hair from a vendor and me not being able to like do a wash or test it, and I'm sending out to the customer and then they hate it because I haven't done my quality control. That's not something that I'm okay with. So I don't personally I don't like vendors that have long waiting times. Sometimes I'll ask, like if I really want to purchase and I don't want to waste my money, sometimes I'll ask if they're willing to go live, or go, not live, but on WhatsApp, it's to video call me so I can see what the hair actually looks like and like what they're going to send me. And then based off pricing, videos, my interaction with the vendors, because that's important, like what their response times are. I also ask them if the hair can be bleached, because that kind of determines if they're giving me like raw hair, single donor hair, or if they're giving me like a blend of raw hair. Because typically, you know, the blend, they'll tell you like, oh, this is raw hair, but it only bleaches to like 27. But if you want our single donor hair, that bleaches up to 613. So it's just important to ask those questions up front. And then I also ask, how do they accept payments? Like I'll ask them if they will take PayPal. And then if they don't take PayPal, I ask them what route, like typically, or like you do Western Union or MoneyGram. If you're doing Western Union or MoneyGram and something goes wrong, they don't send the product, or the hair's bad, you can't get your money back. But if you do it through PayPal, then if something goes wrong, you can get your money back. Unless you send it via friends and family. A lot of them say, hey, you can send it via friends and family so that you don't get any additional fees. I don't have to charge you additional fees. But the caveat of that is, if you send that to them via friends and family, then if the hair they send you is crap, or they don't send you hair at all, you have no way of getting your money back. So keep that in mind. Sometimes when you're first doing business with a vendor, it actually benefits you just to pay the PayPal fee, so that you have that additional insurance in case something goes wrong. And then really it is a prayer. Like you have to pray that God gives you wisdom and discernment, that whoever you decide to test ends up being a good vendor. Because if they're not, you still have to go back and you have to do the process all over again. There's no way of telling if hair is going to be quality solely from a picture and a video. It can look absolutely gorgeous, and I have some hair companies where their hair online looks so pretty, and when I got that hair in person, I was so disappointed. Like it did not meet my standards at all. So you want to make sure to ask questions. You want to have a dialogue. You want to make sure that they are available, or they're not available, but they are responsive. And then once you decide on that, go ahead and make a purchase and test out the hair, because that's the only way you're really going to know if the hair is good or not. So this is a fairly quick video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you want me to make a video about how I shoot content at home, to get like fun content to keep people engaged without having to break the bank, let me know, and I'll kind of record my process. And it's super simple. I don't do anything extra, but I do like cute videos. I like cute content. And in the past, I really hadn't put much effort into that, but I really, really do. And so I said everything that I wanted to do with my hair company and or my business, like coaching and all of that stuff, I was going to do this year. And so I'm just in a space where I'm not making any more excuses. I'm doing it. And so I'm really excited. I know the more that I do it, I'm going to get better at it. One day I do want to go and like rent out like a content studio and be able to shoot different things there. And I'll show you how like I plan that out, because I want to make sure that I know what scenes I want to shoot, or like what content I want to shoot in each room. And I want to make sure that I can utilize the space, because a lot of the places that you can rent out, they have like a 2-hour minimum. So if I'm gonna do something like that, I need to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth. Also, I want to let y'all know formally, I don't know if I have in a video, but I've now traveled between LA and Houston to do hair, and I am accepting new clients. I do color, I do sew-ins, I do K-tips and F-tips, which I love. I also teach. So I teach K-tips and F-tips, and I have a class coming in LA, small intimate class so you can really learn. In LA, December 15th, and then I have one in Houston December 31st, and they come with a kit for K-tips and F-tips. It comes with like a heating tool, and I'll do a separate video to go more about it, training manual. And then I know the benefits of content, like the marketer in me knows the benefits of content. So I'm also going to have an option to where you can do a live model and you can get the content from that. So when you go home and you're trying to market to get clients for K-tips or F-tips, you will actually have somebody that you've done, that you have good footage from, that you can then show. And then I will record the footage and edit it for you so that you can have and use and post on your channel or your pages so that you can get business as well. Because it's one thing to do like a look and learn class, but you have to think like long term. I'm taking this class to get clients that want these services, that want to do K-tips, tapes, F-tips, microlinks, whatever. And so in order for me to get clients, I'm gonna need content. And so by doing these look and learn classes, they're cool. But if you can actually tangibly do a client and then have footage from that, so when you go home, you can actually market, I feel like that is worth your dollars. And I know it's easier for people to teach on like a mannequin. It's easier for people to teach by, just showing you, but it's something different. And if I just really care about my students, and I understand what it's like taking classes. And then, okay, so what do I do now? Like, how do I get the first model, or how do I get, my first client? So this is gonna solve that. So again, LA, December 15th, I'm doing a group K-tips and F-tip class. And then in Houston, I'm doing one on December 31st. So sign up. This is part of my Black Friday special. So the prices for the classes are going to be the cheapest that I will ever do. Nobody's doing prices this low, giving you kits, training manual, all of that stuff. But I wanted to do something special. And this in particular, because I do hair. So this service in particular, K-tips and F-tips, have been so lucrative for me. My most affordable pricing for K-tips, and I sell it with the hair, has been like $1,700. But typically with my upsells, they've been upwards of $2,000. So I'm able to have 2,000 plus days from just doing one client and doing K-tips or F-tips. So I've been doing K-tips when they were fusions, and I started doing those in 2006. If you look back at my videos, I have videos from 2008 of me doing K-tips and microlinks. So this isn't new to me, but over the years, I've learned a lot of different strategies and tips. And so I want to teach that and educate stylists on some of the things that they can do to generate a really, really good income from behind the chair. Okay, I've talked a lot. This video is going to be super long. I love you guys. I'm about to record one more video, start editing, and push these out. If you would like me to cover anything in particular when it comes to marketing, hair, anything, let me know. Comment down below, and I'll be more than happy to record some content and share my knowledge with you guys. All right, I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.